How are you doing during quarantine? My name is Malvika Vaswani, and today I'm going to be speaking with you about my sustainable jewelry collection called Shisho. But before I take you in through that, I would like to quickly tell you a little bit about my brand and what we do. I run a lifestyle design studio and design consultancy, and what we do is we work with different artisanal communities to revive traditional indigenous crafts that probably don't have any relevance today. So we try to use those techniques, whether it is natural fiber weaving or waste metal casting, or even beadworking and embroidery. So it's a vast variety of things that we work with, and the idea is to empower communities to work within their spaces, within their villages, and to come up with good design that falls into the slow lifestyle and fashion category, but that is relevant to today's customer. So with that, we also spend a lot of time doing research on newer materials that have been devised and invented that are sustainable, and also we try to figure out how we can upcycle and reuse a lot of waste in our products, and that's what we're always doing and spending our time on at the studio. So quickly now I'm going to take you through Shisho. Shisho is a collection that was designed, inspired by my homeland, which is Sindh, which I read a lot about partition, and to me it was very important that I have some cultural context and reference to where I come from. So this was my sort of quest to learn, and Shisho is a jewelry collection that basically I wanted to create, but I also thought that if I'm creating something new, there has to be more to it than it just being a piece of jewelry. Yes, there was emotion, it was personal for me, but I thought that how do I push jewelry and how do I make it more appropriate to today's current environment. So the idea of making it recyclable just sparked onto my mind, and I was like, okay, I have a lot of metal waste from my previous work, so I was going to melt that metal and use it. But the idea was, how do we get the element of fun and color in? So suddenly I decided I want to go to a stained glass factory. I went there, I bought 20 kgs of a mixed bag of 20 kgs of glass, and brought it back. And because it was all waste, they were like pieces that were this small to this big, no real huge sheets, so it was a little challenging. So we sifted through those 15 kgs of glass, we color coded a lot of it, and that's why we decided that the size of the jewelry has to be small, it has to be petite. So while researching, I opened my grandmom's photo albums, and while looking at all her photos, I noticed that there were a few recurring forms, which was the triangle, the circle, and the diamond. And when I went to further do research about Sindh, I saw the same forms. So we decided that we're going to use these repeated forms, much like the Islamic patterns in Sindh monuments. We decided that we're going to use these patterns and make pared down versions of the jewelry that my grandma used to probably wear at the time when she was younger. So the pieces are simpler, they're long earrings, they're simple, like a simple bracelet with a circle or a triangle. It's layering is something we gave a lot of importance to. In addition to that, we color coded a lot, so we looked at, like, the light pink refers to the sand in the desert, the terracotta refers to the pots and the bangles from the Indus Valley, the indigo is like a strong color that you find in a lot of the monuments. So that's how we sort of picked our colors, and that's how the collection came about. So yeah, that's us, and I think I want to quickly tell you a little bit about how I think that overall design, fashion, lifestyle design is moving to be more conscious, because not only is the consumer asking the right questions, but also the designer is more aware of the impact of creating and wasting. So we're all in this together, and we realize that as designers we have a certain responsibility to create product, but to create product that is meaningful, that has a positive impact on the environment, and something that is conscious in its existence. A couple of brands that I think are doing a great job are Malai Biomaterials, because they have created this amazing vegan leather which is made 100% biodegradable, made out of coconut, and so it can potentially replace all the leather that we use eventually, which I think is great because it goes back into the earth. And another brand that I think is supremely successful in being sustainable and conscious about it is Kasha. They're an amazing clothing brand based out of Pune, and they have a zero waste policy. So they reuse everything that is wasted in their studio, and they make beautiful bohemian clothing made out of natural materials and naturally woven fabrics. So yeah, I think that overall we're looking to replace the fast fashion with the slow. We're looking to replace the materiality that we commonly use that's wasteful with things that are more mindful. We're looking at upcycling waste and giving it value, like in the case of the jewelry that I have made. So yeah, I think there's a lot to it, and I look forward to a more sustainable future, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this.